What is good, guys? What is good? Yes. Okay, the topic for today that I'm going to be talking about is social group game or social group dynamics. And please, this is a fairly new idea and topic to me. Like, I've never actually delved really deep into this whole idea. It's fairly new. Someone mentioned it to me in this group chat, or mentioned it to everyone, and I saw it and I'm like, wow, I've never heard of this idea. And it makes a ton of sense. And people do it all the time, but maybe they don't realize it at the moment. They don't realize what they're doing, which is good. I mean, it's good in a way where you're not thinking about it because you really don't, it's not that hard to do, but some people don't know that they're doing it, so they can't find things to improve, or who knows. But what I'm getting at is social group game. And I want to speak about how I decided to try this out without even realizing I was doing that. So yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, right? Downtown. It was dyeing the river of Chicago green. So it was a big event. There's bar crawls, all this stuff going on, cool events, bars, people, like ton of people. Like literally all I saw yesterday was green and every single shade of gray. That's all I saw. Those were literally the only colors that I saw. But anyways, I was out with friends, we were checking out different bars. And I think the first bar we checked out, I was like, well, okay, let me try to warm up a bit, let me talk to some people. Let me talk to some people, talk to some chicks, whatnot. Talk to some chicks, cold approach. It's a little tricky if you're going in and there's like 2 or 3 other chicks. You're like, damn, that's a little tricky because there's 3 of them, right? You're like trying to juggle all these 3. And this will be in another video, but it's about how to talk with like 3 other chicks in a group dynamic, I'll say that for another video, but it's very interesting how you got to think about these group sets compared to someone that's by themselves, because obviously they're just by themselves. You're not dealing with other people dynamics. But anyways, obviously everyone was out and about downtown. So we had there was a bunch of groups, a bunch of chicks who were in groups. So I'm opening these sets, right? And it's tough because you're kind of going in, it's you versus 3 other chicks, whatnot. It went okay. Sometimes it worked because I acknowledged the friends and whatnot, and then they were comfortable with me, got their Instagrams, and maybe planned something in the future. But this is really interesting. I did this cold approach, or I just went to go talk to this chick. You know what? Maybe it sounds better if I just say that like that way. I just went to go talk to this chick at the bar, and it's really packed, the bar. But 2 other dudes were there, and they saw that, and they're like, yo, shit, what's good? What's good? And they started talking to me and validating me like hella. Like a lot. Like it could have been a mix of both they were drunk and they were just like interested in me. But they like really took a huge interest when I did that, right? So, I talked to them. They're like trying to get pictures of me and all that. Like it was definitely, they were a little drunk, but just not to the point where they don't remember it. Like they remember it. But they were talking to me and all that, but they were in a group. And because these 2 dudes who were like dope with me, like they really like were validating me and like, yo, yeah, I like those glasses, man. Like, yo, that's dope. They were with other chicks, right? And these chicks literally came up to me and introduced themselves to me. They literally introduced themselves to me like, oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. And they like shook my hand. What? What is this? What is this wizardry? Huh? Like, I was kind of like blown away by it because I've only had that happen a handful of times, but I didn't know why. I didn't know why that was a thing. Back when I was at ISU, when I was in a fraternity, Sig Pi, shout out Sig Pi. I always wondered how like the dudes in my fraternity, my frat, a lot of girls would just talk to him. Like they're like, yeah, they're cool with him and whatnot. Like they were always meeting chicks, and for me, I was still like a little shy. I wasn't taking these risks. I wasn't doing a lot in my part to get with these guys who are really good at this stuff, you know? Like, for me, they seemed they were good. I don't know what they were thinking, but for me, I was like, damn, they're G's. And definitely they know who they are if they're watching this ever. But anyways, there's a couple times that back in the fraternity where I was just I was like having a fun time and just talking to everyone and pretty much, and girls would actually come up to me to introduce themselves to me. But I didn't know what concept that was back then or what idea that was. But anyways, fast forward to yesterday, whatever. That happened, and I was like, huh. So if it looks like I'm a person of value or of importance, quote, and these are quotes, importance, it's relative. Well, then what makes it so that I can do barely like 20% of the work, but 80% of the output is like I get the chicks or people come up to me and they have to introduce themselves to me. Well, I'm only doing 20% of the work as in connecting people. So that kind of struck me at that moment, like, wow, was that really all it was? Because I was really cool with the other dudes and dudes are really cool with me. They saw that and they're like, I'm gonna go introduce myself. Is that like, wow, that was pretty mind-blowing. And that was one example. I was literally out all day yesterday doing this kind of stuff, like approaching, game, going out, having fun. A couple times I was kind of slightly mentally fried because overabundance of women, like I was just like, I can't approach every single one. Like the streets were packed. So like I was like doing approach like back to back to back. Even the dudes like who were waiting in line, just standing there, they saw that like, but it got to the point where I was like, oh my God, I'll take 1 second to breathe and like a hot chick passed. I'm like, hold on, I just did an approach right now. But anyways, another example is I was at another bar downtown and I met a guy who was immaculate at social skills, like absolutely killed it, like crushed it. And I was just like, wow, this guy is a G for the way he talked. He was talking to other people. He was cool with some peeps. He got some peeps to get drinks. Like he was like the G. Like people were like, they acknowledged him whenever they talked to him, and he was just very like flowing. And I was just like, wow, that's really cool. This is the type of guy I need to hang out with if I want to get any better and improve my game. Because obviously, if I'm with guys who are like really good at this stuff, well, naturally I would be pretty good at this stuff too. But anyways, I talked to this guy. He was really cool, and I asked him how he learned so much, and he said that he worked at the bar. He was in the bar scene a lot. Like he worked as a bartender, so he just picked up all these skills. You know, I mean, he worked for a while, so he's picking up all these social skills because he has to, and now he's good at it. Now he can apply it. And so all the people that he knew, I was asking them, how do you know him? And they're like, I just met him today. But he's cool because of this, this, and this. Validating. And then I asked another person, another chick that was with him, how do you know him? I just met him today. But I just met him today, but he does this, this, and this. And that's why he's cool, you know, like he's dope. And I was like, man, they all know him like that? Like, god damn. So I talked to him. There's 2 floors in this dance floor. And literally my reality was just kind of blown away. Like it just broke. Like yesterday, my reality broke a billion times just seeing all this shit. But we went to the second floor, first the basement, dance floor. And I went down with him, and he literally brought like 3 other chicks with him to go down. Another dude, we all went down to the basement to dance. This man broke my reality to a point where I was like, wow. Music's playing, right? Everyone's just doing this simple dance move like this, whatever it is. He goes up to this chick, grabs her and dances with her, right? Like he owns that shit. Like he owns it, owns that reality. And he grabs her and he picks her up and has her legs like on his waist, like some crazy stuff. she looked like a rag doll. And he did like this whole spin, and everyone was just like, what? Like, it just broke everyone's reality, but they didn't know their reality was broken. You know what I mean? Like, I knew what happened. I was like, boom, wow, that literally just happened. And it just broke what I thought was not possible, you know? Same with other people. I don't know, they were thinking that. They were just probably like, wow, that's it. But I was just blown away, absolutely blown away. And I was with this other dude that was there, asked him, or no, he told me, he's like, well, I lost my girlfriend now. Because that was his chick, that was his girlfriend. And he did this insane move that nothing tops it, because no one was in that frame of mind already. Like, he was owning that shit. He created his own reality. And he was bringing in so much value because he was cool with everyone. But he was connecting other people. It doesn't matter if it was like with value, like he was just connecting other people. And not a lot of people can do that. Where they're just like, hey, I just met this guy, but this guy go dope, you know, and he's making connections. And it just kind of blew my mind, to be honest. And yeah. So my reality was broken plenty of times yesterday. So that very same night, I was actually gonna go out to my friend's. He was throwing a party like at his place, but it didn't end up happening. So I was like, you know what? I've been planning this for years, throwing my own like house party, you know, and that's exactly what I did. I broke my own reality, you know, like what was possible. I attempted to, because I sent like every chick that I knew for game, like all the chicks that I met. I just sent them like all the messages, like, oh, you know, come through, and you know, and I sent everyone messages, but it was super late. It was like at 10 p.m. Obviously, now I learned a lesson to do with time. But anyways, I sent like 30 chicks a message, and the good news is, like, most of them all responded. Most of them responded, right? But the bad news was that, you know, obviously they couldn't, because it was St. Patrick's Day. They were either going out or they were going to sleep, whatever. But it was because it was super last minute. But I broke my own reality, and I felt like this was something that I needed to do, because now I'm going to be the guy who hosts the party, and I'm going to be the guy who connects other people, because I know a lot of people. I know artists, I know musicians, I know DJs, I know programmers, hairstylists, you name it. And if I can connect people like, oh, this photographer, you shoot this person really good with the camera, you know, like this person right here. Oh, this guy, he has great modeling clothes. You should shoot him. So he has some great shots. Oh, this artist, you have a dope hairstyle, but she's a hairstylist. So, you know, this DJ, I know a guy who does promoting, and he has a cool little venue space, you know, just being able to connect that. And anyways, it didn't work out, the party at the end, because it was super last minute, but it broke my reality. And now I opened up a can of worms that I can't close. And I did that. And then I noticed that we ended up going out, like the people who did show up, my friends that did show up, we ended up going out anyways. But they were like different people, and some didn't know each other. So being able to introduce them and others really opened up my mind on like, damn, okay, this is social group game. They're meeting other people. They're meeting other people, and I'm being the connector. I'm the guy who's connecting these people together. And that's something I didn't do before. And now I'm starting to see the perspective and the mindset of the guy who brings value. That's what it means. Are you bringing value? It can be relative to the chick too, but I'm bringing value. If I can invite these chicks and they can meet other dudes, they can meet me, they want to stay with me, I'm bringing value to all the artists, to the DJs, to the musicians, programmers, whatever it is, you know? Bringing value. And this is just my experience from yesterday, and I wanted to do a quick video now that's still fresh in my mind, but will forever be remembered. So yeah, I mean, I'm just blown away by it, and there's so much to learn about this. It's like farming, you know, you're farming, you're building up your groups, your relationships, and you reap the benefits from that. And I realized, as much as I do cold approach and game, I'm not building a social dynamic, a social group for me. You know what I mean? It's like, am I gonna just be doing game all my life and not have any social group or social status? Like literally, like I'm just kind of ignoring that. You know what I mean? Like someone can just do only game and purely game, but they don't have a social group or any status whatsoever with other people as well. You know, it's like, I think now I need to practice that and actually cultivate this group and these different groups and get people to introduce themselves and think of the bigger picture, because obviously the Chicks is like the smaller picture of this whole huge circle of social circle game. So I don't want to keep this video too long. It's probably been 15 minutes. So that's pretty much it for today. My experience with social circle game firsthand, and I'm going to try to learn more of this stuff and see what I come up with. So let me know what you guys think on this video. Drop a comment below, whatever you want to hear more about, my ideas or concepts, whatnot. Drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more of this content. I'm just uploading content, and we'll go from there. So catch you guys in the next video. Peace.